again, it's chapter 16, The Fighting Wolf. It was time for White Fang to go back to work. This time, however, it was a whole new trade. Beauty Smith advertised him as White Fang, the Fighting Wolf. Men paid money to watch White Fang fight other dogs, often to the death. They made bets on which dog would win. And it wasn't just dogs. White Fang was set against other wolves and even against a lynx. White Fang learned to enjoy the fight. He certainly preferred fighting another animal to beatings from Beauty. He grew excited whenever men gathered around the cage. He knew this meant a fight was coming. Beauty was a cruel master. He enjoyed beating the wolf. Much like Gray Beaver, it made him feel powerful having such a strong animal under his control. But Beauty Smith was a coward. He did not show the wolf any mercy, protection, or justice. He never let him roam around and follow his wolf nature. He always kept him locked in a cage except when fighting. One day, a strange new dog was put into the fighting ring with the wolf. Many men had gathered, even more than usual, to see White Fang fight an English bulldog. At first, White Fang thought his job would be easy. This dog was small and round. There would be no trouble knocking him over and taking hold. The bulldog seemed to be smiling. He wagged his tail at his master. His tongue was lolloped out the side. It was not an easy fight, though. It was one of White Fang's hardest. Because the bulldog's legs were short and his body was wide, it was difficult to tip, and his jaws were incredibly strong. Once the bulldog got hold of the fur around White Fang's neck, the wolf could not free himself. They were locked in a grip. The men gathered around the cage, cheering and egging them on. Bets were being placed back and forth on one dog then the other. The longer the fight went on, the more money was being wagered. Beauty was very happy. He was making money, and his dog was the center of attention. White Fang did not notice two men join the crowd. They were not cheering or betting like the others. One of them looked angry as he watched the dogs fight. He scanned the crowd. White Fang was losing. He could not escape the grip of the bulldog. There was much shouting as the wolf started to go down. Beauty realized that he was about to lose a lot of money and that his road to fame and fortune was about to end. Flew into a rage. He jumped into the ring and started kicking White Fang. There were hisses and some boos from the crowd, but that was it. The newcomer, a young, clean-shaven man, turned on the men. "You cowards! You beasts!" he called. He jumped into the ring and landed a smashing blow into Beauty's face. Beauty fell backwards into the snow without knowing what hit him. "Somebody help me get these dogs apart. Matt, get in here," the young man called to his friend. "I'm right here, Whedon." Matt quickly followed his friend into the ring. Beauty regained his feet and came back at the stranger. He did not get very far, though, as the young man once again knocked him onto the ground. Beauty Smith decided that the snow was the safest place for him and made no further efforts to get up. Chapter 17, Weedon Scott. Wheaton and Matt grabbed the bulldog and tried to pull him off, but it was not easy. The young man very slowly pulled the bulldog's jaws open while Matt worked at freeing White Fang's mangled neck. White Fang collapsed. His breathing was troubled. He did not have the strength to get up. He laid in the snow, dazed and unaware of the men talking above him. "Matt, how much is a good sled dog worth?" Wheaton asked. Matt thought for a moment and then said, "Well, I'd say about $300. And how much for one that's all chewed up like this one?" He pointed to White Fang. "Half of that," said the dog sledder's guest. By the time Beauty was on his feet and standing next to them, "I ain't selling," he said. Wheaton raised his fist toward Beauty. "I've got my rights," Beauty whimpered. "You gave up your rights to own that dog when you beat him and put him in that ring." Wheaton looked Beauty straight in the eye. "Are you going to take the money?" "All right," Beauty said quietly. "But I'll take the money under protest," he said. "The dog's a mint. I ain't going to be robbed." Wheaton turned his back on him and returned to help Matt, who was working over White Fang. Some of the men were still standing outside the ring watching. Tim Keenan, the owner of the Bulldog, asked, "Who is that man?" "Weedon Scott," someone answered. "He's some kind of mining expert." "Huh," Keenan sniffed. "And now I guess he's some kind of expert on wolves, too."